Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And a couple cards using cardstock and ink and splatter and hot foiling and better press. Everything but the kitchen sink. I had fun. And if you are watching this when this video goes up or the day after, I do have a time-sensitive discount code. Thank you to Altenew for providing that. I'll have the info in the description box below the video with the link and the code and all the things. And if you're watching this after that, I generally have different like codes, sales, all the things. I always link to them in my sales page. That's linked below as well. And yeah, I'll have links to everything I used in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. It's what helps, keeps lights on, pays the bills, enables me to keep bringing out content. And yeah, let's get into making these cards. So one of the many things I love is taking colored cardstock and changing it with ink, markers, etc. Specifically, I started with Limeade and Fresh Lemon Crafty Necessities cardstocks. So very, very bright yellow. And then this like bright limeade green. And this is how they're going to end up just by using ink. And so fun. And this time I experimented a little bit because I was curious with specifically the yellow cardstock. I was like, oh, I wonder where I can take this with some inks without going completely like overboard and mixing things up and yada, yada, yada. So my main focus is this Grand Dahlia Craft a Flower die set, which, oh, so good. This was in their May, the May release. And it was sold out for a while and it's back in stock. And I love it. I love it so very much. I love it so much I die cut multiples. So I die cut the Fresh Lemon cardstock. With the large flower in the set, I just die cut that once. The small flower, I die cut 3 times. And I took all the pieces and I'm laying them out onto my big grip mat here. And then we are just going to blend inks. And I'm just going to slap those inks on. You can always get more in depth with your, specifically on like floral die cuts, greenery, leaves, etc. You can really amp up the look of dimension. I don't do that very often. I have done a video in the past where I did that, where you use like the edges of the blending brushes and you can really build, especially following like the deboss lines and create the look of like folds and curls and all of that. But 99% of the time, I just slap the ink on because that's what I like to do. And I've super sped this up in editing. This didn't take that long. I have really fallen in love with the small blending brushes, the ones that are about an inch wide from Altenew. Just faster. You can do this with the mini ones as well. I will bring in the minis for, when I get into the darker colors. But I just, threw this ink on. So for this first, these 2 smaller flowers, like this first blend, I used the Tropical Tango quad. So Peachy Keen and then Mandarin Burst. And now I'm into Tangerine Dream. And this is where I switched to the smaller brush and just going lightest to darkest to build that depth. And with the cardstock being yellow, like that yellow base to it, it's going to change how the actual inks look. And so that's going to vary, and you always got to experiment, see what happens. With something like oranges on top of a yellow, this is not groundbreaking, it just makes sense. But then for these other ones, I'm going in with pinks. Now, pinks and oranges, or pinks and yellows, play together very nicely as well. However, these are more like kind of blue-toned pinks. This is the Bubblegum Dreams quad, and I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out, especially this first little bit with that baby pink I was adding, because it's a very like kind of purpley pink, But as the colors build, it just, it was fun. It was fun, and as always, like I say, constantly, Like I say all the time, I wish I had more hours in the day because yeah, I would die cut even more of these and just like more color combos. You know, let's see what would happen with just start with that yellow cardstock base and then do just different color combos because so fun, so fun. So again, I'm starting with the small blending brushes, you know, which are a good size, especially on these larger die cut pieces. It just makes life easier because I can just move faster, you know. And then I went from that baby pink into the fuchsia. Now I'm into magenta, and this is where it really starts. You know, these deeper shades really bringing in more of that depth, and worked my way through with this one. And I didn't bother with like the flower centers or anything to do different colors. I just used the inks. You know, I would just kind of vary some of my pressure and how much ink was on the brush, but that was it. So we'll get into the magenta and then we get into the jazzberry. And like, seriously, look at it. It's so good. And always, like I always say, because it applies with the fresh dye inks, these do soften a bit. They do dry back a bit. So if you want like certain levels of depth or you want things to stay like really, really dark, whatever, test it out, let the ink fully dry, like completely, and then determine where you're at because you generally will need to go a lot darker than you would think. So I was happy with everything as it was, but I did want like just a bit more depth. So I pulled in acai berry, and that one just made it. Honestly, because it does lighten up a little bit. Honestly, if I was going to do this again, I'd actually probably go in after this one and add a little bit of jet black. Just a hint. Just a hint. I think that would have looked really just so good. And then because I couldn't leave the other ones alone either, I brought in mahogany bark just again to deepen that. And I love it. I love it. It starting with a color cardstock base just changes things versus just doing white cardstock. You can always do it on white cardstock. That'll always, of course, give you the truest look of the ink colors. But having the color cardstock base also just makes things a little faster and easier too, because you've already got something there. And then all the inks you're adding to it are just building on top of it. So for the greenery, that's where I used the limeade cardstock. And for this one, I didn't go extra intense. Like I didn't bring in like a fifth color. I just used the Forest Trail quad. So I started with aloe vera and then matcha tea, and then we'll go in with swamp green. And it's when I bring in the oak moss, the fourth color of this quad, that it just brings them all together. And love so very much. So when I bring in the oak moss, and for these I just did the small blending brushes and just got the ink on there. And if you, especially with greenery, you could also bring in, like I could have pulled in some of the other colors that I use on the flowers and just, got it onto parts of the petals, like some of the mahogany bark, some of the jazzberry or acai berry would have looked gorgeous on these as well. I just wanted to leave them though, just as greens, but that is also another option that really can be fun to experiment with different color cardstocks and inks and all the things. So before I assembled my flowers, I used the Petal Shaper tool set. I've shown this in other videos. You've got the foam, and then you've got these different stylus tools. I'm using like the largest one in the set. You just do like swirling motions and applying pressure, like swirling and dragging motions, and that just like breaks down and softens the cardstock fibers and causes everything to curl, which perfection for floral die cuts like this. So I just worked my way around. This is definitely something where I can just zone right out, and it doesn't take very long, but I zone out and just build, and I don't know why. It's really fun as the cardstock just starts curling up on itself. And because this Crafty Necessities cardstock is a little lighter weight, it's not super lightweight, but it's a little bit lighter weight. It's really easy to shape with this because heavier weight cardstocks, it works. Like these shaping tools are perfect for really heavy cardstock. It just takes a bit longer. You have to put more pressure on it and work a little bit harder, but it works. And I love it because it builds the dimension. but it doesn't make my cards like extra bulky. And then assembly. I sped through this in editing. This set, easiest thing to assemble. All of the Altenew, like the Crafty Flower and any of the ones with the keyhole, like layering system with their die sets, they have layering guides like in the packaging, etc. Some I will recommend, like put all the pieces together before you even add ink, just to get your brain kind of wrapped around it, because some of them are more difficult, and that layering guide is necessary. For this Grand Dahlia set, you barely even need to think. You can't see it on camera, but there's also numbers like debossed next to each keyhole. So 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. And you just follow the numbers. And I honestly didn't even look at the layering guides for this set. It just works. Like, my brain was in auto mode, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. And as it comes together, I love dahlias. I really do. I really do. I wish they didn't need to be dug up every year. I live in Saskatchewan, for those not aware. I'm not sure about other places, like warmer climates, but I know dahlias need to be like dug up every year and then put in storage. I don't have the patience for that, but maybe someday, because dahlias are beautiful. Anyway, back to the cards. For my backgrounds, I pulled out the my brain stopped again. What is this called? The Making Moments press plate. This was also in the May release. I love me a good text, and I love press plates, and I love hot foiling with press plates. So Glimmer hot foil system. It was turned on. Put the plate on it. Press the button to heat it up, and then, or like it was heated up, but to set the timer off. And then I was using Altenew's Champagne Mirror hot foil, and you put the hot foil with the pretty side touching the plate. And then your cardstock, which that first one was Peachy Glow, Crafty Necessities cardstock. Once the timer's done, you run it through your die cut machine, because the Glimmer adds the heat, the die cut machine adds the pressure. And then I did the exact same thing a second time with that plate and the Champagne Mirror hot foil, pretty side of the foil touching the plate. Then the cardstock, which with this one, it was acai berry cardstock. Once the timer went off, ran that through my Platinum 6 die cut machine, and it's shiny and it makes me happy, and it hot foils so nicely. I love it. I love it. So after I did that, off camera, I stamped a couple sentiments from, I pulled out the Blossoming Trio Build-A-Garden set. That was in the most recent release, like the July release, and I just used a couple sentiments from the set. So one of them I had white heat embossed on scraps of acai berry cardstock. The other one I stamped with obsidian pigment ink onto Peachy Glow cardstock. And then I die cut the sentiments with the coordinating wafer dies. And then now I'm die cutting scraps, like the remaining scraps, with the same wafer dies, because we'll stack those to build a bit of dimension when we're assembling the card front. So I set those aside. And then for the insides of my cards, I pulled out my Better Press. Because go big or go home. So I'm using the Better Press with that original press plate I was using, the Making Moments press plate. And I've got it lined up in my Better Press. And then I determined where I want this to go, because I'm going to use this on the insides of my cards. So my card bases are top folding A2 white note cards, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And I'm taping my card base to the clear plate of the Better Press with just some removable tape. And I'm inking up just the top portion of the press plate. For the first one, I used the red Jasper ink. And then I run this through my die cut machine. And that's going to press that just along the bottom of the inside of my card. And then cleaned off the plate, doing the exact same thing for the second card, this time just using the Jazzberry ink. So inked up the top of the plate here, had my card base taped into place, and then just carefully run that through my die cut machine. And that added that to the inside. And then off camera, I stamped a sentiment from that Blossoming Trio set onto the insides. I'll show that at the end with the obsidian pigment ink. So that finished off the insides of the cards. So then for the card fronts, I adhered the panels that I had hot foiled, and I didn't cut them down. I thought about it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to cut these down. They're amazing. Everything turned out so well. turned out so well. And sometimes if it doesn't, it's like trim some off or add some extra splatter. We're going to add splatter anyway, but you know. So I've super sped this up, but I had loosely copied the layouts because that's the other thing that Altenew does in their packaging. Not only is there like layering guides, and then there'll be like color guides and jumping off ideas, and then a lot of times layouts like card front ideas. So I actually loosely copied the layout ideas in that Grand Dahlia set because I was just like, those are good layouts. Why think when you don't have to? So I kind of somewhat copied them and adhered all my little bits. With the flowers, I only put glue right behind the very centers so that like all that, dimension I'd built with the petal shapers added to it. So it's not getting glued down. If you really want to like emphasize that dimension too, you could tuck like foam dots, etc., between the petals and the cardstock, things like that to really, really emphasize all of that dimension. I don't do that very often. Every once in a while I will. But with these, it was not necessary because between the actual physical dimension and the inking, it's just there. So, but I did add splatter because I love it so very much. So once everything was adhered, I let the glue dry. I put these into my splat box and I used my Altenew white gouache, put it on the palette, thinned it out with a bit of water, added a good healthy dose of white splatter. And then I'm doing the same thing with the carbon black gouache, just being a little more light-handed. For me, this is light-handed. Still a lot of splatter, but again, I love it. I love it so much. So I splattered the black onto these, let that fully dry as well. Cleaned off my brush, all things, especially with the black gouache. This stuff will stain whatever it comes into contact with. So let all of that dry, and then the sentiments that I had stamped and die cut, stacking those together with liquid glue just to give the sentiments that little extra bit of like dimension, and then glued each one to its card front. Once I've got the sentiments glued into place, as my final bit of bling, I'm going to use the Citrine Gem Sparkles. And I'm going to use them for both cards. Because since they both start out with yellow cardstock, I was like, I'll use the lighter yellow on the darker card. And the more sort of orangey shade on the cream colored, basically, like the peachy glow background. And these are just peel and stick. And I like them. Because, again, we notice a theme here. Amy likes shiny. If it's shiny and sparkly, my inner magpie, I'm here for it. So, stuck a few of these onto each of these cards. And then once these are in place, don't have to let glue dry, because again, they're peel and stick. Love it. So once these are in place, these cards are complete. So we've got, like I said at the beginning, we've got die cutting and inking and hot foiling and better press and heat embossing and splatter and bling, like all the things. And it was fun. So yeah. And like depth and dimension, but not super bulky either. And for me, that is key. Like every once in a while I do love like all the layers of foam tape too, just to really build that dimension. But I also like just faking it, and it looks super dimensional, but it's not actually. So that's what these did. So those are my cards. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting, letting them robot overlords know you like what you see. It does help. I really appreciate it. And links to all the things are in the description box below. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!